Now, some of the allegations that are being made against senior Ukrainian politicians are fairly serious. I mean, they include things like very large bribes, paying inflated prices to private firms. How deeply rooted do you think this kind of corruption is in Ukrainian politics?
Well, we have to be very honest and admit that Ukraine indeed has the problem with corruption. And admitting that we have the problem is the first step to solving the problem. So the reality, the sad reality, I recognize it, is that it is rather deeply rooted in the Ukrainian political administrative affairs. The difference right now is that actually now we do have the anti-corruption infrastructure that can respond to those allegations. Look, it started with some journalists making investigations and publishing them in their media, and the anti-corruption infrastructure and then the president and the government reacted to those allegations. So I do think that this is definitely a progress. Do I wish for things to be different? Yes, of course. I wish those investigations didn't show any signs of corruption. But unfortunately, this has been the reality of Ukrainian politics for years now. And the biggest challenge and the biggest change that I'm seeing is definitely that now there is an institutional reaction, not just societal outrage.
And that institutional reaction from President Zelensky, is that part of what's going on in the wider world, attempts for Ukraine to join the European Union? Is it in reaction to what's happening in Russia? What's prompted this particular reaction now? Because it does seem that he has gone quite a long way into trying to rid his inner sanctum, I suppose, of some of this corruption.
Well, indeed, some of the people who have been accused of corruption are part of his political team. And I do think that President Zelensky realizes that too much is at stake right now, that now losing confidence in Ukraine's path towards democratic, liberal European state is just impossible, because then it will mean that we will lose this war. And this is not something that anybody is willing to bet on, right? So I do think that there is this international element to this, that everybody understands that if the West loses confidence in Ukraine, then it's a very bad situation for all of us on many levels.
And just finally,
but also there is a very strong internal pressure, because when people are fighting in the trenches, and almost 1 million people are fighting on the battlefront right now, so their families are involved and all of that. The societal reaction to corruption is much higher, and society is also outraged. So that needed to be, addressed as well.